Dear developers for Hogwarts Legacy, I felt obliged to help spread this message as it's something that most fans feel, including myself, although I actually wish I didn't feel this way, but I hope that maybe you can consider it or at least change the situation slightly. Now for anyone watching, if you could help get this message to the devs, that would also be amazing. Maybe 10 likes would be enough, hopefully. Now I'd like to start by quickly saying thank you for making such an incredible game that has allowed most of our childhood dreams to come true. This game is easily a game that will stay in my top 3 for a very long time. And I'd also like to add here that I'm aware this game has so many types of players, so don't feel obliged. This is just coming from the more casual / consistent players venting, I guess you could say. But I read a post from a fan that ultimately says we have a problem, and the amount of fans that are relating to it is a little wild, but it's not just one. But this post, however, says the following: the game is a little lonely. I was trying to put my finger on what exactly was missing from this game and why my character felt so isolated. And then I realized that you can't actually talk to almost anyone that you are not on a quest with. I know that students talk whilst you walk by them, but it would have been nice to have more purely social interaction or quests with the main characters that are goofy and that don't actually drive the plot. Now someone added, my feelings were hurt when I walked past Sebastian and he acted like I didn't exist. Now pushing the boat a bit more out there, someone also mentioned that I was hoping I could walk around roasting everyone like in Red Dead Redemption 2. That's just a perk, by the way. That I am completely aware has its limitations, but let's be honest, we all kinda wanted that, right? So here's my perspective on this. I love this game and it is truly a solid 10 out of 10 for me for so many reasons that I can't just list in this video, but what has just been said is something that I've kind of felt too. Now I understand that is a pretty big job to do, which is why I have another post that, well, once again, kinda hits home. So the post says the following: needed quality of life improvements. Me and my wife are very much enjoying the game thus far, but I can't help but wish there are a few tweaks here and there that would vastly improve the experience. Quick side note, there is a long list, and because of that I have picked out the ones that I feel are the most important, but I'll be leaving a link to all the posts that I mentioned in this video in the description. So the first one says here is I need a sell all / buy all option. It then says yes, I need to sell 20 hats, no, I don't want to sit and hold X 20 times. Now for console, it says I'd like to be able to look down whilst flying. Y left / right is on the left stick and up / down are on the right stick baffles me. Keeping the broom controls on one stick and look controls on the other just makes more sense to me. It then says Alohomora should be automatic, although to be completely honest with this one, it's kind of a 50-50. For me, it doesn't really matter too much, but I know there's some of you guys out there that genuinely have been finding this kind of inconvenient for the most part, so I thought I'd just add it for that reason alone. But with that said, the next one is that the game needs a better student experience. It then continues to say, I never really visit my common room or the banquet hall, nor is there a chance to really interact with other students or professors. The game doesn't really need to mimic Persona 5, but I'd like to at least feel as if I am a student. As it is, the castle is very much alive, but the people aren't. The next one is accepting a quest that should not overwrite your currently tracked quest. That, I can honestly say, that's definitely right up there. Then we have an open world this big needs custom markers, especially with so much content locked behind having certain abilities. It then says, when putting new gear on, I'd like the option to keep gear appearances or transmog appearances on that slot's gear screen. Putting on new gear, exiting that menu, pressing square, going into another menu, and then looking for the transmog that I already had selected is a bit tedious. Now the last one is a curfew system that requires you to sneak out at night. this is the interesting part because they did add it. They did say it seems like this was maybe a cut feature, but how it would make the world more immersive. And to any devs watching this, as I say, we kind of figured out it was something that you've cut for obvious reasons, but if there is a way to re-implement it that allows people to maybe, I don't know, let's just say toggle the option on or off, I think so many people would be incredibly grateful, especially those really wanting to roleplay as a student. It's really one of those things that is a missed opportunity. Now, what I will say is at the same time, I've seen so many people say how they are glad that it's not in the game because they can see where it would have been annoying. But as I say, if there is somehow in some magical way you can add a on or off option, I truly think that ticks both sides of the boxes for the most part. So again, if you can just consider that, we would be internally grateful. Now, there are a few other things like, petting cats shouldn't be a cutscene, or as I mentioned, how Alohomora should be automatic, but those were just my key things that I feel are most important, at least right now anyway. Now, this is a big ask, so I do apologize in advance, but new info that was found yesterday kind of teased a lot of fans. So we have a post that says, anyone else hope for at least 1 or 2 expansion packs? Example, The Witcher 3, the first one, Hearts of Stone, adding a new quest line with some new side quests, and then Blood and Wine, a new quest line and side quests, but with a small map expansion. I'd love to see something like that for Hogwarts Legacy. Now, hot take. Sorry for anyone I'm about to annoy, but I'm just being realistic. So devs, I think a lot of us would actually pay for something like this, so it's definitely not a free or even maybe cheap expansion, so to say, but I think you guys have really proved yourselves so much, and of course, we can't just expect it for free or at least super cheap, and when I say super cheap, I'm talking like $5, right? But it's something about having more great content in the game that just increases the replayability factor, as, let's be honest, it's left us all in a slightly weird position, and that weird position is that we've waited so long for such a great game, and when this game was announced, I mean, we were all super ecstatic about it, but there was always that slight fear, of course, with it being the first AAA game for the most part, especially on this scale that you guys have done. It was very much, like we've seen what we've seen, but there's still that small kind of element of being skeptical, and then the game's out and it's just everything that we literally have wished for and actually expected for a very long time. So I guess no one wants it to collect dust, nor do we really want to wait a decade plus for something to come round again with these tweaks. Now, I'm no game developer, but I just feel like we have a base here of something truly incredible, and I know you guys listen to fans as well, and that alone is truly remarkable. So this is more of just an appreciation video, letter, whatever you want to call it, with highlighting a few, I guess, issues. And I've got to speak on behalf of the PC players as well, because those guys are having a slightly hard time. So I'm quite happy for you guys to delay the day 1 patch just to make sure the game is running smooth on all consoles before you venture off on a quest on basically all the things I've just mentioned in this video. But I appreciate all the great features that you've added that so many of us have overlooked that I mentioned on a video that you see on screen. But I hope you can at least take one of these points in this video, and if it's in your power to do so, maybe change the situation ever so slightly. Thank you very much for watching.